ultimate purpose is not survival. It's finding purpose in what you love. I'm pumped to be branching out. Like, hey, we're gonna sit down and have a couple-hour podcast.
I like putting headphones on.
Is it?
Is it, dude?
Jesus Christ!
Just like talk for 5 minutes. I'm like, is it though? I've always been inspired by this shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that pizza was so greasy.
Waters.
It was not disgusting.
I'll set it on the floor so I don't constantly.
Oh no, you don't have to do that. We got these like these legal pads. You just use it like a coaster.
Okay.
And you don't have to worry about like leaning down to the ground. But yeah, we're live. We're doing it. Breakfast at
2 p.m.
I wrote you guys as 2 a.m. on the.
Everybody does that.
Whoops.
How long has this band been going?
Since like spring 2019. That's when I'd say it like officially started.
Okay, so you have been at it for a little while, eh? Like 6 years, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. Got to be 7 soon.
Nice. Hell yeah. How do you all know each other?
Well, I met Jordan because we went to like the same music store for guitar lessons, and we met that way. And then we had a different drummer originally, so Pauly wasn't in the picture at that point.
Well, I was adjacent. We were in separate practice areas. Their old drummer is a bass player for another band I'm in.
Oh, right on.
It's like, yeah, we're all whores.
Cheers, brother. Doink. Touch my tip.
Cheers.
But yeah, Pauly's been in the band since like spring of last year or so.
Yeah, I'm coming up on a year myself. That's exciting.
Nice.
That went by pretty fast, huh?
Right.
Oh, it flies in a band. I'm a drummer myself, and I've been in metal bands my whole life, mostly with my brother.
That rules.
And dude, this is my favorite thing to talk to bands about is like, how do you maintain like 6 years is a hell of a run for a local band. Most local bands are like, oh, we played for 8 months and then we just like threw in the towel. How do you maintain well, I mean, like the relationships and the friend, like you have a mini family that you gotta like keep everyone calm and collected.
I mean, I'd say it's like we've definitely had close calls.
Yeah.
and there'll be times where it's like, you know, it's just kind of like it's almost like a sibling-ish bond because you spend so much time together. But like,
yeah,
I think it just comes down to like being mature. So if obviously the bands that don't last long, they're problematic to begin with. You know, they don't know how to communicate.
for sure. Yeah, that's a huge part of it. I mean, me and my brother like obviously grew up together and know every one of each other's buttons, so we'd be screaming at each other, "You fucking piece of shit!" And then like people that we're in the band with are just like shook, and we're like, "This is just too staged."
Can't fight with anybody like you fight with your siblings.
Oh man!
So one of the previous bands I was in called LCF had 2 brothers in it, and that's kind of where most of the arguments were between the 2 brothers.
Of course, yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Of course, you know. But so you guys were doing. You did guitar lessons at the same music store. Was it like Huber and Breeze or like big box store kind of one?
It was just like an independent place. Like there's no guitar centers around where we are.
Where are you guys from?
Port Huron.
Port Huron. Oh, Blue Water fuckers.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you making the drive out here. You know.
That sounded really cool. In the
Yeah.
Dude, I cannot wait to replace these things. I'm just like, I'm gonna do it eventually, but I'm just just trying to like get my money's worth out of them for a little bit. But for a while, every time we hit them, we'd like go into the Law and Order SVU song, Man, yeah, so 6 years. It's such a hard thing to get. Like being in a metal band, you got 3 to 5, 6 piece groups, and to maintain relationships and get 4, 5, 6 adults to all show up at the same time, and everyone's schedules work. It's impossible.
It's like wrangling cats.
Part of the reason it lasted so long is we were able to make it work as a 2-piece.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it was just us for like a few years almost.
How did you guys? So you both play guitar? You're both guitar players?
So I'm guitar in this band, and Jordan is drums, right, or was drums back then, and then
Oh, okay.
bass. When we had a drummer, then we had guitar, bass, and drums. But when our drummer quit in like 2022, then we just did guitar and drums for like live shows and stuff. And we're both multi-instrumentalists, so like, you know, we can still record and stuff like normal.
Right on.
I had nothing to do with any of the recordings so far. It
Okay.
was all just those two, and then like they invited guest spots.
Oh, nice.
For some instruments. But I mean, like, the album is pretty much the brainchild. It is the brainchild of the two of them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I was brought in as like a hired gun, like, you know, a set of limbs.
Right on. Hell yeah.
I haven't been challenged musically like this in a really long time, and I'm here for it. I say that every time, you know, and I mean it.
Nice.
Like, they've challenged me musically in ways that it's been like a decade plus since I've been challenged like this.
In what ways are you playing in odd time signatures? And,
But like not just odd time signatures, but like stacking so many changes, like dynamic changes, tempo changes, time signature changes, you know, and they're just like so progressive, and it's really cool. You know, like it's nice to be like, fuck. Every once in a while again, you know, and not just sit down and be able to just dial it in immediately.
Dude,
know?
as a drummer, I absolutely appreciate this. I hate it. Like, me and my brother butt heads real hard musically, but anytime I'd play in bands without him, I'm like, this is so fucking boring. Like, oh my God. Like, why are we doing... This is our fourth song in 4/4, and there's like oh, there's a pre-chorus. Wow, fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, like some bands, you could just sleepwalk your way through a whole gig.
Yeah.
I used to, one of the bands I was in back in the day used to host an open mic, and, you know, there weren't a lot of drummers, so I ended up being on stage for 3-4 hours at a time. I might get like a little slot to take a piss or get a beer, you know, but I was stuck up there pretty much all night, and I would find myself like watching the TVs. And I'm like, Pauly, what are you doing? You don't even care about baseball. Like, you know,
but the music is so boring that you're like, I don't even need to know your guys' shit. I know what's coming.
I could see their headstocks move in my periphery, and that's all I really need.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, there's the down. You know, like,
yeah.
Well, because you guys were kind of like a jukebox for some of the open micers. Because like if it was a cover, you guys would just play it with them at, you know, they'd like sing or whatever.
It was a paid practice, essentially. It was like paid, like, hey, work on your chops, take those risks, figure it out. The worst that can happen is it's going to suck.
Yeah.
And if you're not afraid of that, then like nothing can stop you. You know, like,
yeah. Dude, and I there's so many people that want to be excellent. I miss the feeling of sucking. You know what I mean? Like I seek things out that I suck at because I like that. Like I like getting my brain to fire in the ways of being the guy who's terrible at this compared to the people that are
That's how you
competent.
grow. Like the Pat Metheny, he's a really famous like jazz fusion guitarist. He played with like Gary Burton's quartet, which was like his professor for a time, and he said that like the best way to grow is like be the worst one in your band.
be the dumbest guy in the room.
Hey,
Right.
You know, like be the worst. Surround yourself with people that are superior.
Yeah.
And he was at first. He was the worst one. When he first joined, he I mean, he was like 19.
Do you want another water, Jordan?
Sure.
Yeah. We got. Here, I got. You want a cold one?
Yeah. I am basically, my partner says either fish or camel. Where I just chug through so many waters.
Yeah. I just started stand up, and like I'm a lifelong fan of stand up, and like upset like some people have football. I couldn't give a fuck less about football or politics or like, you know, so like for me it was always like where that obsession brain where I just know all of the things that, you know, that part of my brain fired for like exclusively music, comedy and skateboarding. Like that's where my brain hits that obsession mark, and I'm like, so like to start doing it, I'm like, oh, it's a whole new gear. I love that I suck at this. I love the steep learning curve of trying to, like just being an apprentice again, just God, I love being the guy who sucks, that everyone can go like, hey, come here, kid, let me show you how to do it. Like,
stand-up comedy is legitimately the hardest performance medium ever, because it's just you and a mic and your thoughts and feelings and a crowd, and the crowd is ridiculously unforgiving, and you don't have the opportunity to hide behind other members of a group, or it's just you and your stuff, and you can bomb immediately. There's
no out. There's no one there to save you. Being a drummer, you can kind of hide. You can kind of hide when you're like, oh, I fucked that up, but no one knows except for me and the other members.
You can pull back. You can pull back into it.
But you fuck up a bit. You say the words in reverse, or you say the wrong word, or you say like a way harsher word that
you
shouldn't
stutter, or you're clearly not confident. It's just a bunch of wolves out there, and they will devour you.
One thing I've been talking about too is like I have this like 5-minute set about like talking about the shit that my ex put me through, and it's not like I'm trying to poke fun at her in a funny way, but it's talking about like really traumatic shit that actually happened in our relationship. And talking to James River yesterday, he's a stand-up comic.
I know, I'm familiar with James River. He's funny as fuck.
Right on. He's like, the audience not only doesn't know you, but they don't want to like you. Like they want you to not do well.
No, so they don't care.
It's like NASCAR, dude. They show up for the crashes.
right.
You know what I mean?
Especially open.
Nobody
open
cares
micers.
Who wins.
Yeah.
They show up for the freaking rollovers and the freaking fire extinguishers. They want to see you fail.
Yeah. Right. So like, and in having that conversation, I was like, oh fuck. Like I think I had taken for granted that everyone's gonna know that I'm a good guy, and then like I'm telling these bits about her, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess if you take that at face value and you don't know who I am as a person, you're like, oh, I kind of sound like a fucking piece of shit when I'm doing this bit. Like, fuck, maybe I gotta just like completely rework this.
Another part of it is like you almost can't do comedy without like having some assemblage of like executive dysfunction and or imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah.
Those things are almost a prerequisite.
Every time I go up there, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why am I doing this? Even though I've written obsessively and went over these bits obsessively, and I've done them a ton of times, I'm like, man, what the fuck am I doing?
So that can still happen, like in this, like in a band situation. Like it could be a place you've played before, and like I get like a strange feeling like my fly is down or some shit. It's like I know it's not, but it's like there's like sometimes still like a weird like nagging like stage discomfort.
Yeah, it's got to be good though. Like you don't want to be so comfortable up there that the quality, like if you're playing in your basement with your buddies, you fuck up you fuck up a riff or whatever, and you're just like, oh, let me restart that real quick. You know what I mean? Or like, but like when you go on the stage and you're like, this audience may be looking for me to fail right now, and I need to make sure that I don't. Like, how do I go about that? I like that pressure. I like the pressure of like, I gotta win these people over in 5 minutes, and can I do that?
So I have this trick that I use. Like I'm really big on like
just pull your dick out.
No, I'm just really big on like recalibrating my subconscious. So one of the things I do is I treat a practice like a show, and I treat a show like a practice.
Okay, so you're like forcing yourself into an opposite perspective.
I'm way more stressed out at a practice than I am at a show.
Okay.
Like I want it to be right at the practice. And then in doing so, I'm more relaxed at a show. Even if I fuck up, and I've been collecting no short amount of fuck ups at shows, but
yeah.
Like
Well, being super stressed out on stage doesn't help you. It doesn't help the
At
music.
all. At all.
In fact, it like you start overthinking every decision you're going to make instead of doing some fucking weird fill or whatever that you were going to try. You're like, oh, wait, fuck. And then all of a sudden you're losing time and stuff. And
I'm going to perform way worse if I like overthink it at a show. You know, like I just have to be like, well, that happened, and then dive in.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, like I have to be like, oh, be here now. Yep. We didn't hand librettos out at the door, so 9 times out of 10, the band is going to be the only ones that really notice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Michael and I have had a couple of conversations. He's like, what's going on, dude? What happened, Pauly? Where were you right there? And like all you can be is honest. You know, like really.
Yeah. How much time do you guys do when you do shows?
Sets usually, most of the time it's like 45 to an hour.
Oh,
usually like 45 minutes actual music, and then you take like 10, 15 to get everything off stage because there's another act.
Yeah. And it's all originals?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a lot of time to fill.
I mean, it's...
We probably have like 3 hours worth of music.
Yeah.
The last album we did last year was a double length, so that's like 2 hours almost right there. But like there was like a bit of a worry at first, like when Pauly first joined, we had how many songs that Pauly knows how to play versus how many we have. So like some of our earlier sets as a trio, again, we were switching out the drummers partway through the set for like whoever knew like the next song we wanted to play. But we don't really have to do that anymore, thankfully, unless it's like a 2 hour, 3 hour set, like the one we did in like Saginaw, I think.
Slowly dialing in the very expansive set list that they have. And
You guys did a 3-hour set in Saginaw?
well, we did
something
3 like 45-minute sets, you know, like where we would play and no one was there. And that was, it was a bummer, but it was also cool because like we played really well that night and it felt really good. But then that's like also a reminder to us, like, here's what it looks like and feels like when nobody knows that you're doing this over here and nobody shows up, you know, like.
Well, I also think that bar was just kind of dead. Like it was.
The other bar was dead too.
Yeah, so
You know,
it was just an odd night because it was like.
I went across the street and I was trying to see because they had a karaoke. I was out smoking a cigarette and I could hear like echoes of karaoke adjacent to the bar we were playing. So I went over to see if I could steal some of their patrons. And we did get one and his friends to show up. And they hung out for a few songs. And they were like super cool and nice.
Dude, that's
so
and like
they,
people
bought me
did
beers and
they
shit.
did show up, but it was like, I mean, it was like 1 a.m. past 1 a.m. when people start finally rolling in. It's like,
this is like almost over.
What do we? Well, it was over by that point because we played till like, I think we played till like a little after midnight, and then we were still sticking around, whatever, like unloading and shit. And then we see like some young people just coming in, and it's like an hour till the bar like closes. It's like, were we supposed to wait this long to start? Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, you walk away from those experiences like unless you're like really like immature, it doesn't like sting you. It's like, well, shit happens sometimes. Like you take that gamble.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. Well, especially in the context of like, this is a bar and the bar wanted a live show. And was it a weekend day?
It was a weekend day, but I think it was just like kind of like a weird, like it was like day of Valentine's or day before. So I think that might have had something to do with it, seeing as the other bar was dead.
Stupid cold.
And it was also like, it wasn't like we were in like the most foot trafficked part of town either. So
Yeah.
that I mean, if this was like a Detroit show at like the old Miami, that wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah.
But that's whatever.
Yeah. Are you guys doing open mics?
We
Still?
No, that was like our first performances, but we haven't like done an open mic in like a few years. I figure
Okay. So you're doing only booked shows now?
pretty
I
much.
think one of your first performances was actually at our open mic.
I think that was the first public one. Yeah.
You guys are. I like your music a lot. I do.
Thank you.
And as a musician, I appreciate what you guys are doing. Like, I hear you're experimenting with some different scales that most people are like, like a 2 or 3 piece band is normally playing in the fucking pentatonic scale, doing 4/4, everything.
Just 3-string power chords the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. And so like listening to you guys' stuff, I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. I like it a lot. Have you ever thought about this? This question might annoy the fuck out of you, so like don't take it wrong. Have you ever thought about bringing in a singer? Yeah, you knew where I was going.
We get asked that a lot. I mean, well,
and don't get me wrong, I love some of my favorite bands. Just to like put a caveat on it, are like Snarky Puppy and like Tosca and like Animals as Leaders. So like, there's absolutely bands that do not require a narrative for their music to hit. But just out of curiosity,
no, we've thought about it a little bit in the past. Like when we first started, we really wanted to get one, but we couldn't really find the right guy, and we just sort of gave up trying to get one, just because it felt a little more important to just write hooks on the guitar and stuff and have the instruments not just be like a backdrop for some like
narrative.
Yeah. And I mean, there are bands that pull it off doing like the complex music with like Battles. They had vocals.
They're so good live.
Yeah. I mean,
is that a band's name? Battles?
Battles. Yeah. They're
2-piece.
Now they're a 2-piece. They were a 4-piece. Yeah. Then people kept quitting. But
the drummer has like one crash cymbal. It's like 6 foot. It's like way up there.
Yeah.
He has to like really reach to hit and then it's, sorry, did I?
It's still
I thought that was the door. I was like, is someone trying to get in here?
Whenever a lot of the time when someone says you should get a vocalist, I'm like, we should get a keyboard player actually.
Synth player, keyboard player, yeah. I mean, I feel like
something to fill the sound up.
They would cover so much more ground, in my opinion.
Yeah, Jordan, try to keep the mic like 6 inches or so away from your face, just so I know you can't hear yourself, but yeah, you sound like you're like in another room on mic. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so you guys actively looked for a singer, or like just kind of flirted with the idea of having a singer?
More or less, just flirted with the idea of. We've had people that like maybe wanted to give it a try, but it's like finding room in the music for it would just not be. It's like, what would they do? Like, I've seen other groups, like even like locally, that started out instrumental that are getting a singer now. Like, what was that one that was at the Sanctuary? They didn't have a singer the last time we saw them, but they did this time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember the name, but I remember Mare was their drummer.
Living AI, maybe? Or was it Antimatter?
Right.
I don't know,
Antimatter. Mare's also in that band, but
Mare's
we're
in
still
so many
talking about
fucking
another
bands.
one of Mare's bands.
Drummers, we're all whores. All of us are whores.
Central Dogma, I think, right?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It's a freaking position of necessity, really. Just about every environment has too few competent drummers.
Yeah.
And
Especially Port Huron. Like, the last drummer we had was being shared between
three
bands at the time. Yeah.
I'm in 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I loved this as a drummer. I love being the whore.
Me too.
I loved it.
Absolutely.
But like I also got to play in like 3 very different bands at once. I'm like in this like shitty like grunge band that my buddy was just obsessed with Nirvana. So I'm like, okay, we're just doing like Nirvana tributes. Yeah, sick. We'll do that. Oh, they're originals, but they're not. and then I played in like a fucking jazz fusion band that was like really weird. We had like a fucking xylophone player. And,
nice.
And it was awesome. I grew up in jazz band, like in school. So like I played orchestra and I played jazz.
Yep.
But I played in metal bands like on my free time. I'm like listening to like Meshuggah on the way to jazz practice where I'm gonna play fucking Whiplash. Like,
do not practice the freaking bass drum parts for Bleed on your pedals in the car. You will kill yourself and others.
I have a cymbal in my truck that mounts.
That little vent mount cymbal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
My fiance was like, why the fuck did I buy this? Because like all of a sudden I'm like drumming along to Lamb of God, like on the way to some like we're going golfing or something. I'm just like
for them.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Shut the
So you were
don't you come to my house and fucking lie to me.
You were talking about like the lifespan of bands. The metal band that I'm in, Death in General, I play bass for them, and I joined that band in August of '01, and we're still going.
That's fucking insane.
Like we've been a band
for 25 years.
Yeah, you know.
That's insane.
And my punk band.
Were they born yet?
Yes.
Both of us, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 2000, and then
97.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, you know.
I was just being silly. Sorry.
Yeah. So they
No,
were
it's
both,
a valid question.
They were both very young.
Yeah.
When that occurred, but you know, like that my metal band I've been in for 25 years, and then
That's fucking awesome.
I'm in a very petulant thrash punk band I play drums for called Dick Hickey. That's the band that we
Dick
share.
Hickey?
Dick Hickey, yes.
Of course.
And so their first drummer is my bass player.
Oh, okay. So you guys were kind of like floating around each other.
Yeah, we're all
we had
hordes.
we even had like the same practice space as one of the other bands.
Yeah, it was Dick Hickey.
You guys, you rent like a warehouse or some shit?
At the time, yeah, it was like what below like
It was
a
a
business.
basement. It was a basement below a business and below like a residential in the downtown area of Port Huron. It was a slummy, like, it was
Good.
super sketchy.
That's good.
Good,
Good art doesn't come out of a nice place.
good in some respects, terrible in others.
Did shit get stolen, or what do you mean?
No, like, just the slumlord aspect of it. I don't want to get too much into it.
Okay, so the guy was like, "Oh, you fucking,
like,
you banned, so you."
Sewers backing up and them doing nothing about it and shit like that.
Yes.
It became biohazardous down there.
Just
you
like
know.
the general environment too. Like you'd lay on the couch in Zach's practice space, and then you like get up and your face is covered in like dust and stuff from the ceiling.
Yeah. But like I've been in Dick Hickey. I joined Dick Hickey in like April or May of 2010. So it's like, I've been
That's
in
a
bands,
long stretch too.
Yeah, I've been in
16
bands
years?
that way transcended that like common,
I would say the common denominator for local bands is 1 year or less.
I mean, I would say like 4 or 5.
4 or
if they're
5?
serious.
Oh yeah, if they're serious. Sure, yeah.
It doesn't count if you're just dabbling. It doesn't count if you're. To me,
Yeah.
that's like a Tinder date.
Yeah.
Like if you're not in, you're not in.
I'd say
it's
the
a fling.
years count if those are like active gigging years. Like if you're doing shows all the time for like 3 years straight, then you're doing great if you're a
Yeah.
local band. But if like you're a band for 5 years and like 4 of them you didn't really do much, it doesn't count as much. Because
Right.
there's a lot of groups that are like that you'd swear have like disappeared, and then they make like a one-off performance at like a festival. It's like, what the fuck? Where these guys at?
Yeah.
In the past couple of years.
Dude, there's a couple of comedians that I've met, and they're like, "Oh, I've been doing this 15 years." I'm like, "Oh, it's a lot of time under your belt." And then we start talking. I'm like, "Oh, you started 15 years ago, and then you didn't do anything for like
Yeah,
10
it's like a
years."
7-year break.
Yeah, you didn't do any. Oh, I had babies, and then I didn't do anything for 10 years, and then I did a couple mics, and then 5 years later I did So I don't know. It's to be like, "Oh, I started 15 years ago," or "I've been actively doing it for 15 years," are completely different.
I mean, we were playing live from like 2019 to like 2022, but then like 23,
Is that the year you guys
24.
you graduated?
I graduated in 2018.
Okay, all right. So you're like getting into like 18 plus venues at that point.
I didn't graduate in 1997.
Me either.
No, I mean like that would have been the year if I had.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's a good joke. I appreciate that.
The,
I appreciate you. I also love that your vibe is like fully the dude. I'm here. I'm here for it. I fucking love
like,
it.
that's just like your opinion, man.
Oh.
But yeah,
What
like
You mind if I do it, Jay?
You fucking nailed it.
You mind if I do it, Jay?
Dude. God, I wish I had.
but we didn't do too
had
much
creamer and vodka
as far
so
as like
bad.
gigs. Like we weren't visible from like 2023 to like. Well, we got back to playing live in 2024, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we started playing shows again at that point as a 2-piece, but like most of 2022 and 2023, even though we had like an album out already and an EP, we just kind of stayed away from the spotlight and just rehearsed like new material that ended up on the new album.
So it was intentional to kind of lock yourselves in and write.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, our drummer quit at a pretty bad time. Like, we were in the middle of recording an EP, and then we redid the tracks.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we just had Jordan play the drum tracks, and I mean,
In the middle of in the middle of recording the EP,
Yeah.
your drummer's
Yeah.
just like, I'm out.
yeah.
And then like a year later, he was sad he wasn't on the album. I'm like, you quit the band.
and we tried to make it work again later, but it was just like, no, like I'm seeing some of the same stuff happening again.
The issues that were
Yeah, and we just moved
beginning,
on we just continued doing what we were as a two-piece, and a little while after that we made it back to playing live, because I figured by that point it was just like, we've got these really good songs that are going to be on an album in the future. We need to start building up like hype for it. You know, who cares if we don't have a third person? We could just do it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you know what? Good on you for being for persevering and finding a way, because so many people just lay down and become a victim of their circumstances. Just, well, fuck, fucking Johnny left. Damn, what are we gonna do? You know, and that is the beginning of the end for so many bands. You know.
I think that's a big part of it. If like a band can't be like somewhat malleable with their lineup, like you might have like one or two like core members, but if one of the other 4 people dips and you can't proceed afterwards, like then you're screwed. But the ones like that can have a fluctuating lineup, they have like a little bit of longevity.
So what's the dynamic in your band? Like, is there like a leader of the 3 of you guys? Yeah. Right on.
Michael writes like 95% of the songs.
Okay, cool. Well, so I've been talking about this on this podcast with a bunch of different bands, and it seems like if there's a band of 4 chefs, it just turns into an absolute shit show.
Too many cooks.
Yeah.
You do need to have, I think personally, a lot of bands that try to run purely democratically and try to be super diplomatic about everything, they don't get anywhere. Like, you do need to have a direction and like momentum behind it, and usually that comes down to like 1 or 2 like band leaders.
Yeah.
I do think a band needs someone
To be like, hey,
at
this
the
is our
helm,
direction.
like, or at least someone who's like a tiebreaker, if you're going to be voting on everything.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to have to make hard decisions. You need somebody in the band to be like, okay, this.
Yeah. This is how
like
this is going to go.
We're doing it this.
Yeah.
Like sound off.
And you
You know, like-
and you two are like, absolutely. This is, yes, we're gonna fall in line for your vision because we like what he's doing.
Then also honesty comes into play, where like Michael will hit us up and be like, hey, is this viable? Can we do this? And then Jordan and I will be like, yes or no.
Okay.
And then that's it.
That's an important thing too, because a lot of people will say that they can do this and that, and then they're never available, or
Dude, that
they last minute drop and you're just fucked. Happens all the time
giving me
with other bands.
flashbacks to all my miserable days in bands. We're like,
When we return to VH1 Behind the Music, disaster strikes the band.
dude, constantly, like I don't. My brain's a little fried because I've done a lot of stuff today. But so like, no, I mean like working and another podcast. I don't mean like I'm all fucked up, but. So I don't know. I don't remember everything I've told you guys because I just finished an episode before you guys got here. And to be honest with you, but the hardest thing being in bands was just dealing with ego and dealing with not knowing what direction to go next because somebody wants to posture for power, and you're like, dude, is this a power decision or is this like what's the best move for the band, or like. Yeah, like me being a fucking I started playing the drums at 8 years old, right? So like
I was 3.
Nice.
I'll be 47 in July. I've been playing drums for a minute and a half.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But so I've been playing for 24 years. I've been playing the drums for 24 years, and
No short amount of time.
yeah, and so like me and my brother. Speaking of coming up with ideas that are like, is this viable or not? Like me and my brother would write some weird bullshit and like fucking like here's 3 phrases of 7/8 and just like do something that's annoying, and then our bass player is like, what the fuck? Like, me and my brother understand what we're doing, but then it's like, okay, well, this isn't, even though this idea is cool.
See, we
it's
do
not
that
viable.
too, though, as far as writing. Like, when I come up with something, I bring it to the group. We work it out until it does flow.
Yeah.
The main thing with making sure everybody's like on board is like dates and stuff for shows, and like doing like little events, like either a show or like a podcast or something, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
And because I mean, the whole like, if somebody can't cut it as an instrumentalist, this band would not be for them. Like, we've had people talk about maybe being our drummer, and then try to like, well, have we tried playing everything in the same signature? And it's like, get the fuck out. like what are you? Like, we're not gonna change all of that.
Failed, sir.
Can we put this on easy mode instead of doing the hard thing?
I said good day.
Yeah, this isn't like a band that you can like dumb down completely for people.
Yeah.
Dude, the spring reverb of this table is awesome. I love
It's
it.
driving me nuts. Dude.
That's so cool.
I'm gonna get new mounts that
Aren't
Aren't-
connected to the table.
well, they'll be screwed into the table instead of clamped to the table.
No, like that's not going to help because the springs. Are
No, I know,
connected
but
to
there's
the mics,
no,
you know?
no. There's different boom arms that have like insulated springs so that they don't reverb, like the fucking springs they use to make the sound effects in Star Wars.
Those two, if you mounted them to the wall, and then you mounted these two on one stand over here, it would solve the problem.
It's not a bad idea.
It would absolutely solve the problem.
Not a bad idea.
Now you don't have that.
It drives me nuts.
That's I love it though. Like sonically, I'm here for this.
Sample it for the next EP.
Here's that, like, you know, Law and Order. It's so good.
Yeah. We're gonna buy some. We're gonna get some more expensive mounts that
I'm gonna devil's advocate you to drink more.
I'm down. Let's do it. Although Coffee Monster is a disgusting chaser for Fireball. I don't know if I said that when I drank it, but my God, I was
Would you like some whiskey Kool-Aid as a chaser?
I'll stick with the coffee. Whiskey Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
What do you got in there?
Whiskey and Kool-Aid.
Literally Kool-Aid and fucking, what, Jack or something?
No, Royal Canadian.
You were fucking hilarious. I don't want that. Thank you, though.
I mean, you know, it's your loss.
I mean, it's Fireball. It's like if you just wait a second, you don't really have to chase it. But
This is like the freshman party of.
are you two
drinks.
Mormon or something?
Nah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No.
Dude, so
That's funny though.
I've told this. I'm just making jokes because
They wouldn't let them have their hair like that. If
like
they were Mormon.
like 3 weeks ago, I had 2 straight edge bands in a row come on, and I didn't know that they were straight edge. I had no idea. Like one was like, "Oh,
Okay, you
I'm
guys
sober.
want some drinks?"
I'm California sober," and then I was like, "All right,
no.
yeah, no worries, man. Like whatever."
California sober just means no cocaine this week.
Well, just yeah, he was just a pothead, but then there was like a few hours between the podcast, but I didn't want to leave and come back, so I was like, I'm just gonna like fucking play the drums. So I'm over there like I have rudiments on the wall over there, so I'm just I'm just like looking at it going like, all right, I'm gonna practice my fucking flamma cues, and so I'm just like doing rudiments, staring at the wall, and I'm hitting my pen, doing my flamma cues, and I hit my pen again, and then Paige, my fiance, is like, oh, they're here. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I sat down, and I told a 40-minute story about how I was high as fuck, and they're like, okay. I'm like, and they're like, yeah, we don't really do stuff like that. I'm like, oh, fuck, are you guys Mormon or something? Shit. You could have cut me off like 2 minutes into this.
This sounds made up though, because I've never met a whole band where everybody's sober, but I know they're out there. It's just like, where?
2 in a row I ended up with. Well, or no.
Were they Michigan, or like were they from somewhere?
Yeah, Forge the Sun.
That must have been literally the two.
Yeah, they're
Forge the Sun.
Forge the Sun is like all of them are straight edge.
Yeah. The drummer, I don't remember his name, but the drummer had a story about like making his own weed brownies, and then like he said he he said he was like, oh, it's called greening out when you like eat too much and then you just like sleep for a whole day. So like, but they weren't like fully straight edge. They're just like didn't want to partake.
They're not
on the podcast.
judgmentally straight edge.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
They're
It's
not
not like
like
DC
we
straight
don't
edge.
do that.
Yeah, where they're like judgmental.
They're
and
not
fucking
like
making
coming at you.
making me feel like because I'm having fun, I got a
Yeah,
problem.
like, I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
Yeah, exactly. That is like one of my favorite sayings. Oh, cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Dude. I like that we touched tips before.
Yeah. Does that count as docking?
I'll count it. I gotta wait for that cinnamon to get out of my mouth so that I can have the coffee again.
This podcast is officially NSFW.
Pull my tit out,
Yeah.
dude. I'm trying. I want to get a sponsorship by Fireball so bad. I am such a fangirl of Fireball. It's my favorite.
It's the
I'm
one that
trashing.
doesn't. It's the one that doesn't actively make you vomit if you have more than 3 of them. I remember
What?
back in the day, like what was it? There was Aftershock and Avalanche.
I never had either one of those.
They were
What are
they were
those?
like they were the cinnamon schnapps and the mint schnapps.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like dude, they were just like exorcist inducing.
Oh.
Back when I was 22, the first actual drink I had that made me start drinking was Fireball.
Yeah,
Hell
it's
yeah.
it's the gateway booze.
Yeah.
I love it.
It took me till I was 22 though, because everyone kept showing me drinks that tasted absolutely horrible. So as soon as I found out there's a drink that tastes good, it's like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah, I get it now. Yeah.
My gateway was champagne when I was like 4. My brother was 5. My mom was
What?
and my mom was like 19, and it was New Year's Eve, and she's like,
There's so much going on in this fucking sentence. What the hell are you talking
she
about?
just gave us a little bit in a cup, and she's like, because she wanted to include us, she's like, you can have a sip.
Hard pause. Hold the fuck on.
It was the
Your
80s, man.
Your mom was 19 and had a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Well, she married
sh-
a guy who had a kid. I was 4. He was 5. She was 15 when she had me. And
Is she stepmom?
no,
You're hurting my brain.
she's my brother's stepmom.
Okay.
So technically, yeah.
Okay, so she met a guy who had a 1-year-old.
No, when they met, I was 3 and he was 4, and we have the same birthday. Crazy. My brother and I.
Okay, so you guys. Okay, so he's your stepdad. She's your brother's stepmom.
Yes.
Okay, so you're step siblings,
Yes.
and you're a year apart. And she got pregnant she had you at 15.
Yes.
Wow, dude, at 15, I was like,
I know.
at 15, I have a 13-year-old son.
You know.
At 15, what was I doing with my time? I was like watching The Barracks, which is like a
Yeah,
skateboarding
right.
website. Imagine having a baby. I had a baby at 19, so I guess it's not like that.
My
far
daughter
off,
was
but
born. I was 25.
That's the reasonable
You know,
age to have a baby.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to,
I'm
walk in the
32. I have a
footsteps.
kid in middle school. It's fucking weird.
My daughter is going to be 21 in June.
She hot.
And
No, I'm just kidding, dude.
yep,
I'm just kidding.
she's beautiful. She's
Nice.
beautiful.
Dude,
I'm
so
not
you-
going to say she's hot. I'm going to say she's
Right,
beautiful.
of course, it's just the
Because
fucking.
that's fucking weird.
it's-
That's my kid.
It's the
my
throwaway
kid.
joke. You're the one that had me drink a bunch of Fireball. I was already saucy when he got here, dude.
Yeah.
No, so you have a 21-year-old daughter. Is that
Not quite. She's
almost 21?
Almost 21.
Is that the only kid?
Yes.
Right on.
One and done.
Yeah, I have 3.
Dude.
I was trying to save the relationship
Oh, yeah. That
by having a bunch
that
of
was
kids.
effective, wasn't it?
It wasn't. It sure was. Hey, hold on. Let me. No.
No judgment.
It
No
was
judgment.
absolutely the wrong choice.
Only love. Like,
Don't get me. I mean, like
would maybe pull out.
so like I've had conversations with people like why and now having my kids I would go through the exact same suffering
Yup.
to have my kids again.
Yeah.
I would absolutely
Absolutely.
suffer again to have
Yep.
to have my kids again. If you could go back, absolutely, I'd do the exact same
The
thing
same
again.
shit.
I want my,
The same dumb shit.
I would go through all of the exact suffering to have my kids.
I agree.
It's
I agree.
you think you have purpose when you like love something. You're like, I love art. I love this. I love that. Like, this is my thing. Nah, fucking. When you have a kid, you're like, oh, my monkey brain absolutely is trained
It's like
to
we're
do
teaching
this.
them, but they're teaching us. The difference is
Yeah.
they don't know they're teaching us, and then that's it.
Dude,
The kids are all right though.
you two don't have kids.
No.
Okay. I think the biggest consequence of having kids, other than like obviously you get serious about life, you take like things more seriously that you took for granted before, but I think the second biggest consequence of having kids is it made me such a sensitive little bitch. I can't watch a movie that has like a sick kid in it
Dude,
without
Niagara Falls,
sobbing.
Frankie Angel.
Dude,
Niagara Falls.
I cannot watch a movie with like a sick kid or a dead kid in the movie without sobbing like a child. I can't. It's like I used to be like, oh, this is so stupid. Like now I'm just like, I cry at like watching the X Factor sometimes. It has changed me. I used to think I was a little hard ass. Now I see like a blind kid like sing on the X Factor and I'm sobbing.
It's the desired effect. They get the sob stories on there to win the show.
They get
the ratings.
me. Dude, they get me. They fucking get me. All right, enough malarkey. Let's talk about music.
It's never enough malarkey.
I don't know. What bands do you think are your inspirations, I guess?
King Crimson definitely would
Fuck
be a
yes.
shared one.
I love
between
King Crimson.
everybody.
I found King Crimson because of Danny Carey from Tool, and because he cited them as a huge influence. And
Must not have worked because I think Tool fucking sucks.
What?
I think they're so overrated.
Really?
They're so overrated.
And you've listened to like their discography, not just the fucking.
I've listened to their second album. Was that Anima?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
I've
their
listened-
second album was Undertow.
So I've listened to
Well,
Undertow,
that
I've
was
listened
no.
to
That's the
that
first.
one.
That's the first studio.
Oh yeah,
album. They had
you know
an
what?
EP
You know
called
what?
Opiate.
Yeah, Opiate
I wasn't
was an
counting that
EP
one.
that counts. So Anima was, I guess.
The second studio album.
Yeah.
Dude, I think musically they are so excellent. But dude, I'm in agreement with you and I disagree with you. Like, so I have cognitive dissonance
No,
here
that's fair.
because Tool fans suck.
They do.
Tool fans suck.
That's not Tool's fault.
It's not Tool's fault. That's exactly. There are people who there's the dumb Tool fans who are like, dude, they're so deep, fucking sacred geometry.
I think that's
and-
probably what fucked it up for me because like they make it, they inflate your expectations. They make it sound like this is gonna be the most proggy out there shit of all time,
and it's just good.
a
That's
lot
all
of
it
it's
is.
like it's whatever.
It's math music.
A lot of it's
Yeah.
just plotting down to
Sacred
riffs.
geometry.
Like you hear that from fucking everywhere now.
Yeah.
But Mozart had this like codex that he built. It's like, because everybody in the classical world, it's like Mozart and Bach, all right, are the greatest composers. Yeah, sure, Beethoven also, but Mozart and Bach. But Mozart had like this codex where he like had these runs, and then like it was almost like rolling dice. He could just pick random things and create completely concise like strips of music based off of interchanging these little pieces, putting them all together. Look that up. Like it's a really fascinating thing.
Okay. Let's do it. We're doing it right now.
But like Bach was the genius of Bach is like you could do like a Mobius strip of like any of Bach's compositions and they work. Like you could take the whole strip of music and like treat it like a ribbon and then like curl it and attach it. And so like it flips at some point and the music still works. Bach was like an undeniable compositional genius. I lost my train of thought at that point. This is where I stopped. I'm going to shut up.
So I'm not finding that, but I found that it says that he used sketches. Mozart often wrote sketches of music from small fragments to more complete drafts.
Yeah.
He worked out melodies and bass lines first, then filled in harmonies and inner parts later. Surviving sketches show a process, but not a self-designed external tool or code. He relied on improv and the keyboard. Mozart composed many ideas straight on the keyboard, improvising them in his head at the instrument and then writing them down.
He composed his first freaking like I don't think it was a sonata, but like he composed his first thing. He was like 4 years old. Like the first composition he wrote, he was like 4 years old.
I don't know anything about Mozart.
In my opinion, Mozart was the first punk rocker.
Why?
I can kind of agree with that, but it's more of just about how he was like radical for the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it was a very like conservative, music environment of like classical composers, and you have him being all like flashy and shit.
He'd show up late with a crooked pink powdered wig, and then just blow you away. And then have sex with all of your freaking service people.
Gangster.
And like back in those days, there were like patrons of the arts. Like, where an artist would travel and there would be patrons that would just put you up and take care of you so you could do what you do. And I think society needs that more. Like, the richer people should really be supporting the artists.
Sure.
But like that was an era where, like traveling talented people, traveling artists, traveling architects, like Da Vinci was funded by like people who recognized his genius and like, let him do what he did and just took care of him. And like, like the same thing happened with composers in that era. Where like you would go and you go to like a freaking, like a lord and lady of this borough would like put you up in their house and just take care of you.
I've heard the term patron of the arts, but I guess I never really thought about what does it mean.
That's what that is.
I'm looking it up.
That's what that is. Like people that take care of people that do this. And it's like, you don't have to, as an artist, you don't have to get a day job. Somebody takes care of you, and then you can spend all day working on your art. And I feel like we need more of that in society.
Patron of the arts is a person who financially supports artists as they create.
Yeah.
Before streaming, before YouTube ads, before record labels. If you were a painter, composer, or writer, if you needed someone rich to bankroll you, where the term comes from. It goes back to some fucking word in Roman, Gaius Maecenas, a wealthy advisor to Augustus around 30 BC.
Gaius Maecenas.
Sure, I believe you. Maecenas funded poets like Virgil and Horace. He became so famous for sponsoring artists that his name basically turned into the word patron in the arts sense, what it means historically. In Europe, powerful families like you want to help me with this one too? Medici? Medici? Sure, that sounds right. Medici family funded artists such as Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci. Medici. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
I am right about that.
Where they weren't donating out of pure charity. They funded art because it made them look powerful. It glorified their family. It pushed political or religious messaging, and it made their city look elite. It was branding, Renaissance style.
There's no such thing as pure altruism. Everybody does things somewhat selfishly.
I have never read into the Renaissance era, but that was so loud.
When we return, disaster strikes the band.
Today,
maybe you should try placing it on that side of the mic.
yeah,
I am a lefty.
he is trying to go through it.
No, I just really like that noise.
No one else did.
Sorry.
Modern version. Today, a patron could be a wealthy donor funding a museum, someone backing an indie film, or honestly a fan on Patreon. Same concept. Money plus creative talent equals art getting made. And now it's like trying to give me some fucking specific shit to the stuff I've typed into ChatGPT for my podcast. Since you run your podcast, what you can do is.
I mean, they pretend, like record labels pretend to be that these days. You know, they support you, and then you owe them a bunch of money.
I could not. Did you watch the documentary
No,
about 30 Seconds to Mars? Did you guys watch that?
No.
So 30 Seconds to Mars ended up in what they call a 360 deal, where essentially they were in debt just to start their band and be signed to the label. And the 360, I think, essentially was that the record label gets a part of their sales, their shows, their merch, all of it. The record label got their hand in every single aspect of the band existing. And then like the contract says insane shit like, we own your likeness in perpetuity in every universe. It's like fucking,
every universe.
What? Dude, that documentary is insane. And like they talked about, I watched this probably 10 years ago, but they talked about how much money 30 Seconds to Mars generated.
How much
and yet
versus how much they actually get.
But they had made like $700,000 off of the band ever.
I mean, that shit happened. I mean, well, obviously it's been happening all the time, but like maybe that's a good thing about the rock industry largely dying out is you don't have so many vulture. Because I mean, the thing is, like, there's not even that many record labels or not that many major labels in general now. There's like what, 3? Before, there, like in the 90s, there was like 25.
Right. It's actually way grosser than that. Like, yeah, they like the big ones have like absorbed the smaller ones. But now it's like you have to, as an artist, educate yourself on every step of maintaining your intellectual property and the proprietorship thereof. You know, like, because if you don't, they will. And then they'll train their AI with you. They'll be able to sell you to third-party things. And in the, like, when you click a thing like DistroKid or Spotify, as of now, they've updated their terms of service where, like, using this, like, it's in the freaking language. It's like, if you continue to use this, you're agreeing that we can just do this. And, like, now we can like sell your shit.
They're taking power of...
They can just take your shit and sell it. They're not taking your power to sell your shit away from you, but they can also sell your shit and you don't get a red cent of it. You know, like, they can also do that. They can train their AI against your intellectual property. They can use your physical likeness. You know, like you know, this is why.
What do you mean they can train your AI? They can train their AI to not.
Well, like copy your music.
They can play your music to their AI, and their AI learns your shit, and then is inspired by your shit to create, and then they basically create 1,000 drone bands that sound like you and flood the market, and you don't get a red cent of that. It's insane.
The AI generated music is the most insane shit.
That's not even starting to talk about like the fact that like that question you just asked ChatGPT, it like used a liter of water.
Yeah, but the water doesn't stop existing. I build cooling towers for a living.
Sure, but it doesn't mean it's not poisoned. It's not dirty water now.
This is something that I've been talking about recently. Every one of us gets fed with new things to be outraged about, and for some reason, AI is the new thing to be outraged by.
Not sustainable.
And like, so I do agree that AI is this like plagiarism machine, right?
Yeah.
Like for art, like to use this AI to create music and create fucking podcasts. Like there's people that are doing completely AI podcasts.
I've seen some of those.
And
so
that's,
gross.
That's
And-
really weird to me. Like, who's
like-
listening to that?
Yeah, it's insane. But like, so I think that specifically is gross. But using AI as a way to find what you're looking for without trying to, like, okay, just to give an example, like if I have a vehicle problem, instead of going through some forum from fucking 2006 on Reddit, like I can just get directly to the fucking point. Hey, this is the thing. AI is incredible for this.
It's
like,
all-
Do you
also
have a
don't-
library card?
I do, yeah.
Dude, you could go online in your local library freaking network and find the same results nearly as quick without using AI.
You mean go finding a book about the thing that I'm looking for?
You
and then
can look
finding-
up on their website. You can freaking
Yeah, but the
Hyperlink.
If they have a search engine, it is a primitive version of what AI is.
Well, even so,
why
like
would
the
I use? Why would
thing
I?
about the AI is like it just to use Google now. If you type in a search, 95% of the time, even if you're ignoring the AI results, it still brings them up. So it's like just to use Google now, which is, everybody uses Google.
I
It's going to come
I
up
don't
with stuff
think
for every
AI is
search.
inherently a bad thing. It's just like I don't know why this became a thing where people are like pushing against it. Like having AI, it's quantum computing. It's just large language models where it is pulling data that you would have found anyway and going, here, let me streamline what you're looking for directly. Now, using it to create art is fucking gross. I hate it. That being said, I don't think using it as a tool, which it should be used as, using it as a tool to learn for yourself or to help you make informed decisions, especially when, like, I am so strapped for time. If I'm trying to find an answer to something that's nuanced, hey, what the fuck's going on with this? I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with using an AI search and like as a search engine to just streamline it, so I don't have to read through a bunch of bullshit that is not exactly what I'm looking for, and I can get directly to the point. Using it for art, that's a different thing. I don't know. Especially like, God.
So when I began to learn how to research, I was in like first grade, and none of this existed. Like it was the Dewey Decimal System in the library. It was
Right.
card catalogs. You could like freaking, like the closest you could get was like triangulating what you're looking for by author, subject, like et
Yeah, but
cetera.
all this is a computer way of streamlining that entire process.
I mean, I'm getting to a point, like
Yeah.
like that. Like that's where I began understanding research.
Sure.
like so I had a library card and like this amount of time. And it was a card catalog. I agree with you in the sense of like, the computer does that way faster. I cannot abide the cost versus performance output of what it does. Like I'm fascinated by AI.
What cost?
It's an environmental cost.
It's a nuanced thing because every new industry requires real estate, requires infrastructure being built. I don't think that it's the end of the world that there's this new industry that's requiring real estate and infrastructure being built.
You remember
I
when
don't think that's some catastrophic thing that's happening. I don't understand the pushback. That's where people are like, they're like, my fiance was even like, she's like, oh, they're trying to destroy the UP. I'm like, fucking what? And so like I started looking into it, and the only thing I could find is that they were trying to get approval to build a data center in Kalkaska.
The Line 5 freaking pipeline also, it's stupid and gross.
The Line 5 pipeline? What is the Line 5
It's
pipeline?
just like freaking oil, like, line, you know. It's going to, none of them survive. They will all inevitably fail. And
Is this one of the ones that are going under the lake?
egregiously pollute like natural environments. It's only when every tree has been cut down and every river has been poisoned that we realize we can't eat money.
Okay, so let's hear. Okay, what is Line 5? Enbridge Energy LLC.
Yeah.
Line
That's
5
gross.
is a large oil, natural gas, liquids pipeline built in 1953 that runs about 645 miles from Superior across northern Michigan's Upper Peninsula to Sarnia, which is the edge of Canada.
They're going
Blah,
through
blah,
native
blah.
land.
Moves crude
They're trying to
moves
freaking,
crude
like,
and gas liquids between Canada and the U.S. Great Lakes region. It carries light crude oil, light synthetic crude, and natural gas liquids. Why it's controversial. Line 5 is at the center of a major fight over environmental risk, energy infrastructure, tribal sovereignty, and law. Two big flashpoints. The Straits of Mackinac, a 4.5-mile stretch beneath the connecting waters. The Straits of Mackinac between Lake Michigan and Lake Huron is one of the most contested parts of the system. Environmentalists and tribal nations argue that if that segment ever ruptured, oil could devastate the Great Lakes, the largest surface freshwater system in the world. Because the pipeline was built in 1953, long before modern environmental laws, critics say that it's old, risky, and structurally out of date. State versus federal authority. In recent years, Michigan's governor and attorney general tried to force the shutdown of Line 5 under state environmental laws, but federal courts have blocked that effort, ruling that pipeline safety regulation is a federal responsibility under U.S. law, not state law. Treaty controversy. Canada has invoked a 1977 transit pipeline treaty to push back on Michigan's attempt to shut down Line 5, arguing that interrupting the flow of oil and gas across the border would violate international obligations.
Yeah, it's messed up.
I don't know. These things
I'm,
things are so nuanced that you can't just say like this is bad, this is good. Like if it's a pipeline that's carrying crude oil or natural gas and millions of people rely on the gas to stay warm through the winters of the Midwest, like should we just not have that resource? I don't know, man.
My grandfather was like full-blooded Ojibwe. My ancestors have been on these waters for like 10,000 years. And like, you know, it's a subject that is very near to my heart. And like, you know, you can't, once you like sully a system, you can't clean it. Like it's done. It's too late at that point. You, me, we currently have microplastics in our semen. They're in there. They're going to be in there forever. Like you know, that stuff. And that's because we waited too long to be like, wait, what? Why? And then maybe nope.
But okay, so when you're talking about a pipeline that's been there for going on what is that, 60, going on 70 years. Which, I mean, like I'm a pipe fitter by trade. And there's like a joke in my world where it's like as soon as you install pipe, it starts rotting, and that's a fucking beautiful thing, because that means we have work.
See,
if it was installed, it means it can be repaired. It means it can be replaced.
Planned obsolescence.
Well, it's not planned. It's just things rot.
Absolutely planned.
Well, it's been there for 70 years. No contractor makes it 70 years. I mean, for the most part, they're not doing 70 years of fucking contracting work. And if they do, it's not the same people who are like, oh, dude, wait till fucking in 1953. Right. No one was going, wait till 2026 when we get to fucking fix this thing. You know, it's just not happening. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. These things are nuanced. Like when you're talking about oils and natural gases, it's like you can type an expose about how much you hate this thing, but your house is getting heated by natural gas, and you're able to be comfortable in your warm house in a fucking frozen tundra for 4 months because of a pipeline. So I don't know. It's like this. It's like the same thing as people fucking bitching about how cobalt mines are terrible from their iPhone. It's like
I apologize profusely for hijacking the conversation away from the band.
No, this is
let's get back to talking about the band.
I mean, we don't have to just go like, all right, let's stop this. This isn't going good. But these things do need to be talked about. Like there is absolutely concerns about, hey, hold on, we're doing this thing that puts the biggest freshwater resources in the world at risk. That's absolutely an issue, but it was also a decision that was made by men who were born in the 1900, right? And so here we are in 2026. This has been there for 70 years. What can we do about it now? All right, well, you can't just shut it off, right? You can't just go like, all right, we're done with this.
Educate yourself about it and each other. That's what you can do about it. Educate
but we're talking about like real decisions though, right? Like, so if you just shut the pipeline off, how many households does that affect? Like, if we're talking industry, oil, coal, and natural gas run the fucking world. It's just the way it is. Whether your political stance disagrees with that or not is completely. It's secondary to the reality that like your house is warm because of these industries. Your car drives because of these industries. The power that turns on in your house is because of coal. So whether you disagree with the coal industry because it's fucking poisoning the world or whatever, political stance you take, you have to consider all of the nuance of like, okay, you can't have families freeze because you don't like the idea of a pipeline. So where do you go from there? Okay, what are the solutions here? Do we wean the entire Midwest that is a frozen tundra for 3 months or 4 months a year off of natural gas and we all start chopping wood again? Because I'm not going to fucking do that. I'm not going to chop wood to make it through the winters. And 99% of people who are crying about this aren't either. So what do you do? Like,
they moved the doomsday clock to 180 seconds.
Sure, but I don't know, man. It's just not something where these are not things that can just be like there's such a clean yes or no answer. There's no black and white.
Certainly not.
There's nuance to it. It's like, all right, well, if I got a baby at home, my baby's not freezing because you don't like a pipeline. Fuck that pipeline. I don't care. Like, do I like the idea of like the biggest freshwater source of the planet being fucking tainted by crude oil and natural gas? No, of course not. Of course not. But I like my baby being warm a lot more than I like that fucking lake. I can tell you that. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know. And we live on a ancient coral reef. Michigan is a gigantic ancient coral reef.
Petoskey stones.
And what we do is we have what's called compressor stations. And so the natural gas industry in Michigan purchases natural gas when it's at the lowest price of the year, which is always in the summertime when people are only using it to cook, and they pump it, they compress it, and they pump it into this porous stone that's under the ground. And the off-gassing is less than the difference in the price. So when you pump this natural gas into stones underground, it gets trapped into these stones. Some of it off-gasses and it goes away. But that difference is way less than the price difference from winter to summer. So then we take it back out of the ground when the demand is high and we paid the low price for it, then we can send it to houses and keep people warm. Now, if the right people hear about this, you could just turn that into a whole fucking thing for people to cry about and start putting signs on fucking overpasses. Oh my God, we're filling coral reefs with natural gas. But really, I think what it is that the public doesn't understand, for the most part, the reality of what they're crying about. And like I do work in steel mills. I do work on pipelines. I right now I'm fucking piping in $1 million condos. Like, who gives a fuck, right? But I don't know. I feel like some people are just told what to be outraged about, and that's an easy one because it's so easy to look at water and be like, dude, what if they fucking ruin the water?
It's the same water.
Sure,
that's
but like a
been.
pipeline that's, 30-inch diameter pipeline, and you're talking about a lake that is the size of most of most European countries. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this at all. I'm a fucking pipe fitter. But I don't know, just to like write off the entirety of a system that has been keeping people alive in a fucking frozen shitty tundra for 3 months a year for 70 years. It's like, dude, you just shut that off because I don't know.
I mean, technology has caught up, and there are alternatives, and to not explore those.
What alternatives are massively?
I would like to
affordable?
save this for another conversation between you and me, and focus on the band a little more.
I guess, sure, but this podcast isn't just an advertisement. We have people come on and have conversations about whatever comes up.
I appreciate that.
But
I feel like I've kind of hijacked the conversation and turned it into a different thing, and I apologize for that. But,
you don't have to apologize. We're just having a conversation.
I appreciate that.
We could kind of bring it back to music in the terms of, as someone who obviously doesn't like AI, artists are always going to have a different stance on it because so much of what you see is just people cutting corners and either, flyers for shows. People just resort to AI to make those now, and they always look like shit. So that's somebody losing out on money to design stuff.
Like,
you okay?
hire
Pauly's out of commission.
That went down the wrong pipe.
We'll carry on in his
Yes,
name.
sir.
No, you're good. But you see that behavior coming from musicians too, because a lot of times they are in charge of making the flyer. I don't know why people are okay with being artists, but then shorting another artist for the sake of convenience. And I think that's a bigger part of what outrages people about AI's usage, is that so much of it isn't essential. You see, if you go on like Facebook Reels or something, you see AI generated just reels of shit. Nobody cares what this stuff is, but this same uploader will make like a dozen a day just off of like a prompt. They might not even be typing in themselves. It could just be perpetuating itself more or less. And that's, to me, that's not something being used as a tool. That's just like pointless brain rot, slop.
Just content for the sake of content.
And I don't know who the fuck's watching it, but like, you see plenty. I mean, it's a lot of older people. They like the AI generated cats and stuff, pictures of that. It's like, okay, but was this worth the strain on resources? Because that's not being used for anything productive.
Yeah, right. It's just the commodity now is attention. So can I generate some bullshit to get your attention and keep you there enough for me to get a click, which gets me a percentage of a penny eventually.
Yeah, and as far as, I mean, in music, like I'm not intimidated by AI music because it
has no soul.
It doesn't have a place in certain environments either. Like, nobody's going to, like, you don't want to see a fake band. People still want to see actual groups that go on tour and artists and stuff. And there's been tools of like the digital variety that people have been getting by for years. Like you don't need to generate a song. You can use samples and stuff and MIDI to make whatever the hell you want to hear. I don't think that taking that much of a shortcut is appropriate while also calling yourself a musician, you know?
Yeah. I am a fan of hip hop, but that has always bothered me. It's like if you're using a sample as inspiration and then you do interesting stuff to it, that's cool. I mean, that's definitely happened in where they like might reverse something and pitch it up, and then it's a completely new sound. Like, sure, that's cool. You're almost using like a recording as a instrument itself. But yeah, I don't know. Like, if you go on like Fruity Loops or Cubase, any of these like programs that people write music on, you can just like scroll down and there'll be a list of just like, oh, here's all these drum beats, or here's all these melodies. And you're like, where's the originality in that?
Even that has some originality to a certain extent because you're actually applying preset tools in
a different way.
Yeah, like
sure.
I don't know, like what the I don't know, like GarageBand and shit like that. Mm-hmm. You're taking stuff and then like pasting it together. People now can just write a prompt, a couple sentences, say, I want something that sounds like yes, and then a very, very shitty, approximation of that can get pumped out in like a few minutes.
Yeah.
But even so, I don't feel intimidated by that stuff because, I mean,
it has no soul.
Yeah, people who care about music still want there to be a human element to it.
Yeah, people care about people should anyway care about that a person wrote it and for me specifically, like I want to know that the musicians that wrote the music that I'm listening to are addressing a real thing in their life and they were inspired to write or create art about it. You know what I mean? And God, that's why I have such a hard time with like fucking country or like big pop groups, and you're like, someone wrote this for you and you perform it and there's nothing there. There's
always going to be like a degree of like soullessness to that. But I think a lot of the jobs in the arts field that have already been claimed by AI, a lot of it was soulless to begin with. Like I mean, obviously you want someone to make money, but doing the art style for a Kroger commercial, that's about the most soulless.
Yeah, like
vapid.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
right.
Like have you seen like the ones where they have like the weird circular headed people?
Yeah,
like that that very, very like dead art style. It's like yeah, okay. That just shows how easy that is to
just
replace.
Clean, no personality, don't be controversial at all. Just so
it's like the most soulless positions, and like the stuff that's utterly pointless that's gotten taken away.
This is what I call like diner food fucking art. It's like diner food. Like everything is palatable. You could eat everything and you'd be like, oh, my taste buds have felt nothing. Yeah. Like it was just palatable enough to get it down the gullet, And on that note, welcome back. Are you okay?
Sorry about that.
It got you. Fucking.
Got you, like wrong pipe.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Dude,
wrong pipe.
So we were talking about the AI generated flyers. So I feel like I have some cognitive dissonance there because if you're generating an AI flyer, you're using this tool to drive attention to real art. Like shouldn't that be okay?
It depends though, because there are a lot of artists that were doing flyers that could have been like their bread and butter that are getting shorted, because if it's like if the venue is responsible for the flyer, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna say fuck that, I'll just print one off with my prompt. I don't think that's right. But the thing that starts to irritate you is when it's bands doing it, because a lot of times it is the band that's putting together the show. It's like you can't have a stance on AI music if you're going to fuck over digital design or graphic designers.
It is not hard to make a flyer at all on your own. Like if you cannot draw, just get a picture and then use GIMP or even your phone editor to add the text to it. You do not need an AI prompt to make a basic flyer.
Sure.
At the end of the day, philosophically, the road to hell is paved with good intention.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you might have the best of intentions, but if you're using this to get there, you dude.
I do have, okay, so to play devil's advocate, I'll give you guys an example. There is I called
Sorry.
I called like 6 different local businesses trying to get one project done, and none of them were willing to work with me. They didn't I don't want to get into details because I don't want to put anyone on blast, but basically it was an art project. It was like, well, fuck it. Basically I wanted to make a stencil that says, what the fuck is Good Times Noodle Salad? A reusable stencil where I could bleach shirts, and I wanted to give them away to people because we hit a goal for our page on Facebook, and we have this group on Facebook that we call the fucking Good Times Noodle Salad Losers, and so we hit the goal, and I want to invite people out to come see the studio, hang out with us. I'll feed everybody fucking hot dogs and fucking chips and beer or whatever, and give away a bunch of these shirts. But I can't afford to print 250 fucking shirts. I can't afford it. So I'm like, okay, if I can buy these shirts for like $1.70 a piece. So if I make a reusable stencil, then I could use the stencil to bleach all the shirts. Just fucking put bleach in a spray bottle, mist it, and then I found this hack to make essentially $2 shirts instead of $15 a piece from every one of these local t-shirt companies. I'm like, I can't fucking do that. I wouldn't pay $15 for a t-shirt for myself. I can't pay $15, $10, $11, whatever the different prices were. So I called like 6 different local t-shirt companies to explain my predicament to them and ask them if they could make me a stencil. Every single one of them said that they were not willing to do that. And like 4 of them were screen printing shops. Tell me how you screen print, right? You make a fucking stencil that goes into a frame that you put paint and right? None of them were willing to work with me. So then I was like, okay, I fucking tried. So now I'm going through this stencil company that's online, a faceless, nameless company where I pay them $60 and they send me a stencil in 2 weeks. Instead of spending my money locally in Metro Detroit somewhere, now I'm sending the money off to some nameless, faceless fucking company that was like, yes, we'll do that. And that, it fucking bothers me that I was not able to find someone local to do it. I tried. I tried way harder than normal people would. And that's one example. Another example is working with it's interference from my phone. That's never happened before. Working with graphic designers has been such a pain in the ass.
I believe that.
Unbelievably difficult for the most basic shit. I work my ass off on the podcast, and I was trying to make sure that I was using real artists, and I'm like, okay, here, this is what I want. This is what I'm seeing, and then you put your fucking flavor on it. And then I get just bullshit, like rudimentary bullshit back where like, hey, you don't even have the letters capitalized correctly. Like, are you fucking serious? It took you 4 days and a bunch of attitude and a way overpriced price to get back to me with bullshit. That's why I fucking use, like, when I make my thumbnails, I'm using AI. I can't rely on local artists with my graphics. I can't. They're every artist that I've worked with is either thinks that their skill is worth $1 million per fucking image, which it's not, or they're so unreliable and incompetent that I get left with no product despite trying to give them real money for it. And it's like, okay, you know what? Why the fuck would I not use AI to generate images when I need a thumbnail. I have to have a thumbnail. I'm not going to pay fucking $250 for a thumbnail. I'm not going to pay $100 for a thumbnail. I do 4 of these a week. I don't make enough money to fucking spend that kind of money. And then a couple of these motherfuckers that I asked to give me an example of their kind of work absolutely generated the shit on ChatGPT.
I believe that too. I mean,
so these cocksuckers are fucking ripping me off, going like, "Oh, here you go, man," and I'm like, you think I don't know AI when I see AI? Like, so what are we doing here?
I think it's just a matter of principle. I mean, there's also a matter of necessity versus, you want to have a graphic on your thumbnail.
Yeah.
But it's not necessary to have the thumbnail be that, like you could just have a picture with like maybe like a simple, like the logo of the podcast. A lot of people do that to minimize how much they would have to interact with digital artists.
Yeah, I mean, well, on YouTube, like having good thumbnails is the advertisement, and if your thumbnails look cheap, people aren't. People just are not going to be interested. If they look at that is the cover of the book, right? So if we do an episode together, this is what I do every time. When we do an episode together, we sign the wall, we take a selfie, and then I use a prompt, which is a similar prompt every time, where it's like, make us all look like we're playfully fighting each other, and then I put in Easter eggs of everything that we talk about, so that
I'd prefer if I don't want to see myself AI'd, and I don't think any of us do. That's not trying to be. Yeah, Pauly, draw us up a thumbnail.
There we go.
Put a cat in it.
But I mean, like that right there, you could just have the regular selfie. I understand why you would do it the other way, but
yeah.
I think there's a certain like ick factor when you're looking through someone's work and you do see like very obvious usage of the AI shortcut. Like I see that as an indicator of worth of something's, like when somebody's choosing that method to advertise themselves. That's why I wouldn't do it personally, and that's why a lot of people, I see it a lot in like musicians group chats and like Facebook groups. If somebody obviously uses AI or something and gets a bunch of like traction, everybody who sees it, that guy's like a pariah now. They don't like, you don't make friends in certain environments doing that. Is that our thumbnail?
Jesus Christ. It's just a picture of a thumbnail. Of a thumb with its nail. Dude, yeah, I mean...
Hi.
Am
I being too literal?
So the
we ain't found shit.
The nuance of this whole issue is that really what my product is, I'm my payment for my product doing podcasts is attention, and I'm in a very oversaturated market of trying to get attention. And
hey, look at me.
If I can't get people to even consider it, which if you just have a unedited selfie, it's just what the market dictates, and every successful video, I don't know, it demands a eye-catching thumbnail that is just not possible without a lot of time to do it. And I'm not a photographer, and I'm not a digital artist that can create incredibly interesting thumbnails 4 times a week, every week. I
understand the strain on like time and whether or not you can actually do that many, but I always just look at it as people have gotten by without it in the past.
Sure.
And I do understand the feeling of like frustration with looking for an artist for that type of thing. I don't know what your general pool is, like how you go about approaching artists, or like where you ask.
It's all
for
Facebook
work.
groups.
I feel like it's more reliable to try and find like people who have like their own websites, because then you're gonna get a bunch of like nobodies with no like professionalism and no standard.
Sure, and I don't want to put anyone on blast, but there's a fairly reputable mural artist that I was working with that was a massive fucking prima donna, that I would tell him what I wanted and it would be like, but why would I draw what you want? And it's like, well, because I'm the fucking customer, dude. Like, I'm the fucking customer. And this is and then not only are responses taking multiple days, like when I get the product that I'm paying for back, it's not even remotely what I wanted. And then he's like, well, I have artistic, control here. And sure, you do, but this isn't even like remotely what I asked for. And now you want me to pay an exorbitant price. I don't know. I feel like the average person is going to do way less due diligence than I have. And
there has to be a balance. And
I've come out of it bitter. Like, dude, fuck this. Like, why? This is why everyone is going to AI for their thumbnails. It's
shop around.
It's fucking impossible to get someone.
Artist.
I mean, God, you know what? If anyone knows a reliable digital artist who's not going to try to charge me for fucking AI artwork that I could have prompted myself, and they're going to do honest work and be reliable and not cost $1 million.
You talking about murals?
I would fucking no.
Yeti Woods. Shout out to Yeti Woods.
Well, I'm looking for someone that can make thumbnails specifically.
Okay.
But like, if I can get someone who so there's I have like fucking 100 things going through my head now.
There are things anti-AI, and he's a great artist, and like he will listen to you and like do his best to give you the art that you want.
That's one of our friends back in Port Huron.
Yeah,
okay.
But he's not even the only one in that town.
No,
there's a pool of people that are out there that are.
I would rather use
not being difficult.
I would absolutely rather use a real artist. The same way that
we'll send you a whole
definitely.
list of freaking like great artists after this interview. Like if you like that you could contact that are brilliant and wonderful. And will like listen to your prompts and give you what you want. And you could just like look at their portfolio and decide what like particular style appeals most to you. And then just go with that. Yeah. And they're also like pretty affordable, like they'll bill you fairly and they'll get the job done, and like they'll probably exceed your expectations.
I mean this is what I prefer. Like, listen, I'm in the arts. I've been in bands my whole life. I do comedy. I'm doing a podcast, which I guess, I mean, some people might be like, that's not fucking art, but it is. Fuck you.
What's your best joke? Can I hear it?
No, that's not how this. No.
Can I hear it?
Gotta
just
have
one joke?
No,
I don't.
Can you tell one joke, please?
Be funny on the spot.
Stand-up comics don't write street jokes.
You want to hear a joke from me?
Okay, sure.
So today, I woke up feeling like I had to blow my nose, but I couldn't get it into my mouth.
Yeah, we don't do comics don't do street jokes. It's a narrative that we Jesus Christ.
I'm not funny. I just occasionally do quips.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just not. It's not the environment to try to be funny.
But like the issues that you faced, I equate a lot of it. I mean, back in like 2020, 2021, we were trying to have artwork done. We put out an album that year. As far as artists being a prima donna, I've had that situation a couple times. We either discontinue working with them or they don't even get started. So we are able to find someone else. And I wasn't even going into like artist specific Facebook pages. I think we found the one who did the EP just off of a casting call on the band page.
Yeah.
So there are people out there, and
they exist. They're out there and they want to do it.
But I would say the difference in between what we're talking about is that the value of the art that I'm asking for is a 2-hour podcast out of like 16 hours that I do every single week forever, versus like this is the artwork for the album of the year.
And that's fair.
So
but
like
if
this thumbnail is so cheap, like so minute in the impact of like what it is.
I'm an artist, dude. Hit me up and let me know what your specs are, and like, you know, like I would love to like take a look at what needs to be done and maybe give you what you need. Like, hit me up outside of this.
Okay. Even
please. I like I need guidance for my art, like, you know, like otherwise it just terrifies me.
Yeah.
And I do there's a way that those are similar though, an album and an episode of a podcast, is they're both things that you mass produce. Like like the purpose of the album artwork is like you're going to have 1,000 of these CDs at some point floating around. You need something that's reliably going to be duplicated. I would approach it in a similar fashion with doing like thumbnails. If I was doing something that was literally weekly, you know, on the dot, same day every week, I would just find like a template of some sort, duplicate it with a different selfie or something, and then
drop in a new picture and a new logo every week. But then have the same like template, show name, like graphic style to all of it consistently.
Because that's the same thing. It's like you're kind of like in some way mass producing these videos, you know, and trying to approach it more formulaic, I guess.
Sure.
If you basically just treated everything like adhering to like almost like a rubric of design.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to have a consistent brand, and like people can understand what your brand is regardless of what the episode is, for sure. I mean, you're not wrong there. But
now at the same time, what makes that so valuable and what makes it maybe so expensive for the artist that's doing it is that becomes like a proprietary, you're going to generate a shitload of revenue from this graphic. And like, you know, so like it will become a part of your intellectual property. And that's what, like, you know, artists that are in the know about that might charge more because they understand that.
I mean,
it's like
I'm losing so much money every month to do this podcast, so right now I don't agree with that. Maybe in fucking a few years this will start sustaining itself. But right now I'm losing like it's costing me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month.
A new business owner on every level is going to be like losing money.
But the product,
for the 3 years.
See, this is where I don't know if I agree. Like the thumbnail is not the product. The thumbnail is the book cover, and like
it's the cover.
So I don't know. Like, does an artist who's like, hey, I need a but it's not a book cover because a book takes fucking years and years and years to write, and that's going to be mass produced, and it needs to sell the book.
What about a candy wrapper?
Candy wrapper?
See,
treat the content like the chocolate, and then because I mean all the Kit Kats look the same, at least as far as the wrapping is concerned. That would be how I would approach it if I'm doing something that's going to be consistently popped out again over and over,
like almost like you're using the same colors, the same fonts or whatever.
Yeah, because that's a lot of podcasts I see that also do YouTube. They do the thumbnail will just be like the logo of the pod. I mean, I understand that's maybe not going to catch the most eyes, but
and that's the thing is I have this uphill battle where I am not. The market of podcasts it's so saturated with celebrities who are just like looking for something to do. So I have an uphill battle as it is to get any attention at all, because who the fuck is Matt from Waterford? Like, who gives a fuck, right? But then you have every fucking NFL player, every former MLB player, every has been that was on a fucking sitcom 20 years ago has a podcast. There's like The last I heard, it was something like 900,000 different podcasts that are actively uploading right now, which is asinine. It's so much.
Yeah.
So if I don't know, like if I just had a picture of us at the table taken, and then we just put the number with it.
We could even send you a live pic or something.
Yeah.
That could be.
Quick little thumbnail idea, actually. We have Pauly at the drum kit over there, Michael on the actual guitar, and me on the Guitar Hero guitar.
Beautiful.
I think that one of the biggest flaws we have as creatives is we overcomplicate it in our head.
Yeah.
And like 9 times out of 10, it's super easy. But like we feel like as individuals that it needs to be complicated when it doesn't. And so like we like set up these extra obstacles for ourselves that don't even need to be there. And like, you know, and then when those obstacles make us stumble, we're like, see, to ourselves, and we discourage ourselves when we easily could just be like, hey, here's a thing, it can be real simple, and then just do the simple thing and then not judge it, and then like arrive at the other end of that, like, see how easy that was. But like as humans, we tend to make things way more complicated than they need to be altogether.
Being conscious of time, how much longer we got.
Whenever you guys start feeling like you're tapering down, man, I've gone for like 4 hours.
All right, yeah, I just want to make sure we get like promotional, like stuff relating to the band
Yeah, of course.
in
I
the
agree.
mix.
Yeah. By the way, don't forget to message me your dates and your socials and all that stuff, and I'll put it in all the descriptions and stuff. Specifically, if you can give me stuff that's really the shorts get massively more views than the long form stuff. So if you can give me stuff that's like, hey, just hit this ad or this link tree or whatever, that's the best way to do it. So I can put it in the description of all of the shorts.
Okay.
Because my shorts get like 1 million views a month, and then like the fucking long form stuff get like 40 views.
No, that is. I mean, that's just how the
Hooray, attention spans.
For real.
attention span has kind of ruined the market. I mean, you look at how bands market on TikTok. You know, they'll do a 30-minute skit or maybe a 30-minute snippet of a song, but if they upload an actual like full song being performed live, it
Zero.
usually doesn't. I mean, we do pretty okay on TikTok. We've just gotten inconsistent with the posting, but it could fluctuate from like 900 views, and then some days it'll just like be less than 100.
Yeah.
It's just really interesting. But I find that like other platforms like Facebook and like YouTube are very geared towards just the short content all the time, like less than 30 seconds or nothing.
Yeah.
We have stuff coming up.
Oh
Yeah, we have a big list of shows.
I'll read them all.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Read them off.
Our next actual performance is March 7th at the Arboretum in Saline. We're going to be joined by our friend Nick Stevens, who's a solo performer, and a band from Jackson called Ego Riptide. So I'm excited for that. We've played with both of those people before. After that, on the 13th, is a performance at The Raven in Port Huron. It's just like the local cool cafe. They do like unplugged
13th
shows.
of March.
I got Nick Stevens coming on March 6th.
Nice.
Yeah, he gets
He's
around.
a great dude. I like Nick.
Yeah, he's really cool. And then closing out March is on the 28th at the Eagles Outpost in our hometown again. I don't think that's like really like a public performance. I think we might be like playing some event or something. But
It's an orphaned instruments auction.
That's same day, but different place.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
no,
this is
at the
something.
Eagles Club. It's the orphaned instruments auction. That's what that is.
really,
If it's at the Eagles
Eagles Outpost.
at the Eagles, No, that's different.
I think.
Because the orphaned instrument auction, you know what? I'll have to talk to Josh about that because we normally do that at the VFW or at the Legion. Sorry, like at the Legion.
That's what I figured.
The Eagles might be a different thing.
Well, I think we played like a Halloween gig out there like a couple years ago.
The
before
Eagles
you
is
joined.
cool. It's a cool place. But like I don't know yet whether or not they're doing the orphaned instrument auction at the Eagles this year or still at the VFW. So, or I mean the Legion, sorry.
Other than that, we usually do about 4 gigs a month, and people can just check out our Facebook where we have our whole calendar up of where we're going to be next.
Yeah, so make sure everyone follows Breakfast at 2 p.m.
Yep.
I have said it out loud like 30 times just so I didn't fuck it up because I wrote it as 2 a.m. in the calendar.
Everybody fucks it up. I mean, the 2 a.m. one I've seen before, but then I've seen like shit like
2 p.m. for breakfast.
Yeah. That was on a flyer one time for the Corktown Music Festival, and I was like, Scott, you got to change that.
Yeah,
it's
that's
terrible.
Nothing, that's not even close.
We could have just called ourselves brunch, I guess, but
2 p.m. That's dinner time for me. I'm
when do you turn 80?
I'm just an extreme morning person because I work 5 to 2.
Yeah, same. Well, not 5 to 2. I work 6 to 2. But I think that mime meant he's going to pee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't think we'd get into a debate about AI, but I think it is something that's important to talk about because, like, honestly, like I am a creative person, and I've been in the arts my entire life, and I do fucking recoil when I think about art being generated by AI, and I hate it. But I just don't know if it's a reasonable like at what point do you just go like fucking all right, I can't, like, I'm not getting what I want, and this is what I want, and I just fucking, I don't know. And the value of this thumbnail is essentially 40 fucking views just to build a consistent brand on YouTube versus the shorts that get, I mean, I have shorts that have like 600,000 views on one fucking 1 minute video where a comedian was talking about how she used to practice voyeurism with her gay roommates, where she's a lesbian female who's living with gay men, but like that, so like that has like fucking 700,000 views, but then I work really hard on a fucking long form podcast and it gets 10 views. It's
well, that's like those podcasts that have like the porn stars on. That's just easy clicks, because like a bunch of basement gooners, they see them in the thumbnail, they're like, I know who that is.
Right. Yeah, that right. Or the other thing that really pops is when someone just says complete utter bullshit in a story, like of something that's like a Googleable fact, and I don't know. So like I've started to like fact check people because I don't want to be held accountable for someone else's malarkey. Yeah. But like my buddy, I had my buddy on. I've been friends with him for 20 years. And he told a story about, I don't know if you guys are into skateboard. Are you into skateboarding at all?
Not really.
No? Okay. So I grew up like huge skateboarding fan, and a skateboarder got hurt, and my buddy Devin was telling me the story of how this skateboarder got hurt and how he like destroyed his career with this golf cart incident. And he got every fucking detail wrong. And I'd never heard the story, so I'm just like, whoa, wait, hold on. What happened? He drove off a ledge on purpose. He was drunk. He was with this other pro skateboarder. Every fucking detail was wrong. He wasn't drunk. He wasn't with another pro skateboarder that he said he was with. He did not drive off a ledge on purpose. Like, so like that video got like 100,000 fucking views. And then pro skateboarders who I've been like following since I was like 10 years old are commenting on it going like, dude, this is not what the fuck happened. What are you two dumbasses talking about? And I'm like, no, Tom Asta thinks I'm a fucking idiot. Like, God, that's the worst.
Well, that's like old like rock stories from like when rock bands would go on tour and do stupid shit. Like those are all grossly over exaggerated.
Yeah.
Unless I've heard that the ones about Keith Moon are pretty much always true, the drummer from The Who. But everybody else though is just like, it's just like
Malarkey.
Journalism fodder.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, pal. Like,
Yeah. Just like, let's just gonzo journalism. Just fucking like, let me just take it to the most extreme version of what it could have been and just sell it as fact. But they probably didn't. I mean, I don't think those guys would have hated it because press is press, right? So they're like, oh my God, you hear fucking this guy threw a TV out a hotel window or whatever? And you're like, that didn't fucking happen.
It's kind of, it's maybe cool when you're like young and like still kind of like current, but then it's like, you start to look like a loser when you're like 80-year-old Gene Simmons lying about banging an on-duty girl police officer. You know, it's like, sure you did, Gene. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. In makeup and everything? Okay.
Right. Yeah. Oh God, I could he out of any of the fucking rock stars, I think he is the biggest fucking liar of all of them. Some of the stories
he's a
that
douche.
he comes off like one for sure. Just like and for whatever, like my dad's generation absolutely loves Kiss, and I'm like, I didn't grow up in that era, so I don't have an appreciation of like what they were doing at the time. I don't get it. Like I'll never understand like how crazy that was in the 70s. But I look at these guys, and I'm like, they're fucking tools.
Well, it's
and
like Motley Crue's even worse, in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
Like, because, I mean, like, the whole thing with Motley Crue now, like, Kiss still markets based off of their image and, like, their, you know, live show and stuff. Motley Crue, they're just like, hey, let's do another Netflix series about that other time Nikki Sixx died in an ambulance, you know, let's... And it's like they're just marketing off of their story from when they were young and stupid. And it's like, that to me is another thing that's thankfully dying from rock, is that you don't have bands just being like degenerates and like press hounds anymore. Because not a lot of people really give a shit about new rock bands. But I mean, that, like, you don't have like my generation doesn't have a Liam Gallagher, I would say. Like, we don't have like a famous, just like, runs their mouth all the fucking time person.
Yeah.
Where every other generation prior has had one or two or three, and everybody could agree on who they were. Yeah. That doesn't seem like something that we have anymore. So it's like kind of nice that that's not universal still.
Right. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, the heels that floated, but people love a heel. People love a douchebag. And it's watching it like watching a side show freak, where it's like, dude, man, Liam Gallagher's such a douche. Like, they had such a good band, but he's such a abrasive character that no one wants him around. Like, not even his own brother, you know.
The money got them back together for the little tour they're doing now. I mean, they're both assholes, to be sure, but like back then, Noel seemed a little more sensible. Yeah. I mean, that's like the biggest thing that like puts me off of like getting into their music, though, is like they're just their attitudes and like the shit they throw at every other band of the same era that's arguably quite a bit better than them.
Yeah. Didn't they have, who did they have beef with? Bush or something? But
well, there was like Blur.
Oh, Blur.
They talked crap about. Yeah, and then I mean, they've thrown shots at a former Beatle, you know.
Why?
Yeah, like
why? Oasis, by the way, is like 90s Beatle tribute.
Yeah, honestly, it's like just take a dash of Beatles and then like the Sex Pistols like press thirstiness, and then you just have Oasis, and there's nothing else to them. Yeah. And even the fans will usually agree like there's only really like a couple good albums that came out of that.
Who peed on the wall?
Jesus Christ. Paige's brother.
There's some red in there. You might want to get that checked out. Sorry.
Paige's brother found that.
I'm not sorry.
It fell off the marquee at a Petco, and he's like, my sister's name is Paige. That'd be fun. So he just took it.
Somebody peed on the wall. And they're going to have to answer for that.
10 years later, it's on our podcast studio wall. That was the sign of a fucking Petco or something.
It was a territorial pissing is what it was.
I mean, it's either that or just it goes into dumps somewhere. So it's like, or it sits out and is litter. So
Right.
oh well, this is fine.
Yeah. Well, fuck. Let's wrap it up. We're right at 2 hours. Yeah, interesting conversations. I mean, I wish that we all were like more versed in what we were. I mean, not that.
I'm sorry
the
I
AA
left so
stuff.
many times. Like, you know, like.
It's all right. We got the band carried you. You know.
No, I mean, like, I'm the new guy, you know. This is the band, and I'm, like, you know, also appearing with Breakfast at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I didn't. I never know what we're going to talk about on this podcast. Like, that's what the fun of it is. I love hearing other people's perspectives. I didn't think that we were going to talk about pipelines and fucking AI. Having these. I wish I knew more about the subject of both of them so that we could have a nuanced conversation and not just be like, well, my instinct is this, you know, because it always feels like cheap, you know. But I'm not an expert in anything except fucking I don't know, rudiments and pipe fitting, you know, like. So I don't know. That's the fun of this fucking podcast, though. I get to just talk about malarkey. That's it.
That's for you.
That's my thumbnail. I'm not going to use that as the thumbnail.
I'm not mad at you about it. I just, like, you know.
We could take a pic. We always do like everyone signs the wall and then we take a selfie. Because you guys specifically asked not to be AI generated fighting me.
I appreciate
with Easter eggs. We'll
that
do
you listen
just
to
the
that,
selfie.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people have their preferences, man. I'm not going to push back against
Can
that.
I keep this pen?
No, that's my fucking G2. Why are you trying to steal my
There's
pen?
like 17 of them.
Yeah, and they cost $1 a piece, fucko.
I'll give you $1.
No, give me a G2. You can have a G2 if you replace my G2.
Right.
This isn't a fucking Huntington. You want a free
You know,
pen? Go to the bank.
Ask an honest question, get an honest answer. You know, I'm not mad at you.
I love that all the pens are being returned.
I'm not mad at you.
Oh man,
Keeping the legal pad though.
no. It's
I'm gonna rip these pages out. You can have them.
You could take your pages out of there.
I'm
if you
gonna
want
keep.
to. I like your drawing though. I like these
thanks.
guys. It reminds me of the two. Do you remember that like irreverent, uncanny fucking like alien and astronaut cartoon from the 90s?
You can have them. I just wanted to rip them out
Oh, right on.
to make it fresh for the next guys.
Destructive guy, huh?
The next,
I
the,
see.
the next folks.
I see your game. No, this
Organized
this is,
chaos.
These I like specifically.
Thanks.
What was that? What do you remember that irreverent ass fucking alien and the astronaut like shorts that were on MTV back in the day?
Yeah.
What were they? It was like something in Bob or something. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
We've come too far.
Well,
That's what
MTV's not even around anymore, right? Didn't
You
it
know,
go
it was
off?
a great run. I was there for when it began, and I'm still alive. I was still alive when it ended. I was born right around when it began. You know, like I remember Video Killed the Radio Star, and then
That was the first song that was on there.
it
Right?
turned into like Road Rules versus the real world,
Teen
and
Mom.
like, you know,
fucking Teen Mom, and
reality shows.
Jersey Shore. And,
You know, and then, like, you know, it was the only time music happened was late night. You know, like, and then it ended.
yeah, that's what happens when you become something that you weren't ever supposed to be.
It was a great run. It's what happens when you like listen to the creative contributions of money people who have zero creative bones in their body.
Yeah,
Well said.
my generation was all Palladia and Audio Tree and fucking, you know, like we didn't learn about your Tiny Desk. Like we didn't learn about new music through fucking MTV. That was so far gone and dead by the time that
We
were,
submitted a video to maybe be on the Tiny Desk series, so
hope you
I
get
don't
on.
know when you hear back. I think it's like sometime next month, but yeah, we sent a video and
Oh, ours was approved for it. I just don't know what the steps from afterward are.
well, I mean,
How crazy would that be? That is like getting put onto a rocket to start your career.
You get to do the tour and everything, and then I think it's all paid for.
Do they have a tour?
Yeah, I mean, didn't Emma's friend win it one year, and then they went to Japan?
They went to Japan.
Yeah, and they must have paid for that for them. I mean, it's like you get to win a bill to fly yourself to Japan.
Something.
No, they must foot the bill. They have to if they're going to take someone and send.
Well, I mean, who knows now that your public radio is defunded. So
we could have got into what a fucking.
Now you get a
moron
trip
this
to
guy is.
Cleveland, Ohio.
I don't mean to be so dystopic about it, but
it's like he wants to have the worst fucking legacy of all time. Let's start a couple of wars. Let's fucking end public television. We'll end public funding, public radio. I don't.
How much of a horrible person do you have to be to be anti the likes of Fred Rogers and Elmo and come on.
Yeah, man. That's at the base human level. Is
Sesame Street is a threat.
Yeah, you have this.
Are you kidding me?
This genius Elon telling him, "Oh, this isn't making
not
any
a
money."
genius."
Real quick. It's funny that we're bringing this up now, but the album we did was originally conceived as a concept album, and a lot of the story bits that made up it was gonna be there's a disaster event that's the fault of a billionaire, but he's got ties with the government, so he just escapes accountability, and then society just collapses in on itself over riots and stuff, and now it's you're seeing a lot of that shit.
Happening.
Yeah, you do have a billionaire who's just got his hand in the president's pocket. So it's all just. I mean, this was 4 years ago that I wrote that out, and
now it's happening.
It's one of our,
or at least it's being exposed.
Yeah, it just stinks that because we couldn't quite make the story aspect work. We want to just get the album out because we've been working on it for so long. But if this had come out a year before this administration, it would have just been uncanny.
Yeah,
so,
right. Predicting an entire. I can't believe So I get why people were turned off by the Biden presidency, but I don't understand why the fuck.
I don't understand why they would hate Biden. Biden presidency was he wasn't even there. It's now it's you're painfully aware of everything that our current administration's doing.
I understand that there was perceived weakness by. I mean, we had a fucking a frail man, shell of a man, who has a history of being a liar in office.
When has that not been a thing?
But.
FDR, for fuck's sake.
I understand why there was pushback against Biden, but I do not understand why this fucking moron is the guy that we elected twice.
Yeah, it's
anti-union,
Sleepy Joe, and it's he's only a few years younger, and it's not his brain's not starting to go.
All accusations are confessions.
Yeah,
that's a classic, freaking psychological thing.
We elected an anti-union guy, an anti-working man, fucking classist billionaire douchebag who, and the people that elected him are people that he would never break bread with, and you're this is my guy. Oh, he talks like me. Oh, you mean he talks not presidentially?
He uses the big buzzwords. He plays. It's his whole bread and butter though.
He's a reality show star.
It's our biggest failing as a country, I think, is letting it get to the point where somebody can just win their way into office by using anti-woke buzzwords, basically. He played off of prejudices that have existed since whoever fucking knows, and now it's got him into the office.
It's gross. I mean, it's gross.
It's something that everybody knew the country had the capacity for this to happen, but it's the fact that it's now happening and probably worse than people imagined is it's pretty shit.
Yeah, it's hard to suspect, and then it's confirmed that this is how people actually think, and they're brash about their beliefs because now they're being validated by the fucking president. Yeah. A guy who shares a literal video of the first African American president as a monkey. Like, what? Are you kidding? Like, this is like an SNL bit. It's like a fucking, this is like intergalactic fucking television on Rick and Morty or whatever. Like, it's, you can't believe that this is the real thing that we're living through right now.
I mean,
this fucking
I think
scumbag.
Donald Fagen from Steely Dan, because they're like big, satire people when it comes to like their lyrics. He said it best a few years ago, where like we're living in an era where like real events are outrunning satire. Like, yeah, it's just happening now, and it's
The Onion can't.
It's just not laughable.
The Onion is like, this week something normal happened. Like they can't fucking come up with something that's more ridiculous than reality. Oh, this guy, Tylenol is causing autism. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah.
Is this motherfucker serious right now? This guy's getting in an ice bath with jeans on with Kid Rock to show how fucking healthy America can be. Kid Rock, the guy who sings about methadone and prostitutes. Yeah, this fucking hero. If you don't feel represented by a man who speaks Spanish in an American province, you come over to Turning Point USA for the halftime show and watch us sing about methadone clinics and hookers.
Remember, these are
Christians.
These are the same people that are saying we're thin-skinned when they can't even cope with someone who is a citizen but just happens to speak another language headlining the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So they had to have their own pathetic little thing where it was full of bots anyway. There wasn't actually that many people watching.
It's the most obviously fucking racist propaganda I've ever seen in my life, and everyone's pretending, like, these people are pretending that they're like, I just want my America to be America. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm sorry, but I post here, you wanted a joke, here's a joke. If any, this is what I posted. If any of you motherfuckers put on the Turning Point USA halftime show, I better not see you at a Mexican restaurant on Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Fucking scumbags. It's absolutely. I don't know. Now I feel like I'm like, man, like, what am I coming off as to you guys? Because I'm like for AI, but
You're coming off as honest.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But like, I'm feeling a little insecure because I'm like, okay, I'm for AI. I think AI is an incredible tool, but I'm against AI art to a point. But I'm also like against damaging the environment as long as it doesn't hurt the status quo of what we've been living with for 100 fucking years.
There's nuance to all of this stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
there's climate activists that have heating. Most of them do.
Right.
I mean, my big concern originally was it you in the chat or whatever Facebook message that said it was you guys were in a cult or some shit?
Oh, dude, yeah, I fucking forgot about that. I was like, we're in a religious cult. Like, you're like, is there anything we need to know before we come on? I go, yeah, I'm in a religious cult.
I told them about this on the way over. I was like, man, that gave me a bit of a scare. Because like my band is like, what the fuck you get us into? Because it's not the most unbelievable thing,
I was trying to keep it dry too, so it was believable for at least a couple of messages. I was like, I'm in a religious cult, and you were like, which religious cult?
Yeah.
And I was like, if I say Scientologist, he's gonna know immediately that I'm full of shit. So I was like, what did I say? Fucking
Christian fundamentalist or something.
You were like
that.
Christian or Church of Christ Science or something.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And you're like, well, as long as it doesn't affect what we talk about, dude. I was laughing so hard at work. I was like, dude, I'm just fucking with you. I'm not in a religious cult. I'm like, just know your dates and fucking show up on time or whatever I said.
If someone's in a cult, they won't admit they're in a cult.
Right. Oh, man. That was so fun. I love malarkey so much. Like, stupid shit like that. Oh, so good. But, yeah, dude. Well, I'll definitely have you guys back on. There's many conversations that I'm like, I guess to, like, put a bow on what I was saying is, like, people like a clean label for who somebody is, and I think that's why I'm a weirdo. Is like I'm like a center left, where I'm like socially incredibly liberal, fiscally I'm a little conservative, and like, but like also I think that your social, your behavior should be a little conservative, where you're like like not fundamentalist, but like just disciplined. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of nuance to the way that I think about stuff, and it's not clean.
And the other thing to remember that a lot of people forget is that not every Republican is strictly Trump. You know, like they're not. There is a difference between MAGA and just a Republican Party.
And there's a big difference between, like, you know, leftists and liberals and progressives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I would call
And
myself
Democrats.
I would call myself like for my entire life up until 2016, I would have said I'm a liberal Democrat. Like I think I identify with like what people would have called like Bill Maher a liberal Democrat, which I don't know where he stands with
He's
shit right
like,
now.
kind of like, if you look at him honestly, he's basically like anybody that's like a centrist kind of leans a little right. Like you know, that's.
Yeah, so I would say that I'm center left. I to be fair, I don't know what his opinions are now, but I would be like, oh, I align with his beliefs in like 2010. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, but I'm in a weird spot where I don't feel like I have a home because there's like the extreme left woke, like the super far left where I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like there's some wacky shit over there, but then there's the right where it's like, I don't know. Like there's
like the literal Nazis on the other end of the spectrum.
I'm a native. Yeah. I'm a native by blood. I would call myself a progressive anarchist because I believe that once you establish a routine and a structure, you do not require policing. You can police yourself. You can like manage your own shit on a community basis, and then like. Those communities, the leaders of those communities can meet up to make sure that everybody's okay. And it doesn't really require much more than, you know, money.
If somebody
At that
wanted to
point.
guess the stance of the band politically, you could just look at our track listing on the new record.
Yeah.
There's one called "To Kill
Che
a
Guevara did
Billionaire."
nothing wrong. Like what?
No, but like that one. There's a song called "To Kill a Billionaire," and it's one we play pretty much every show. And it was from when like there was still a concept album idea for this release, but we just kept the titles for most of them anyway. But I mean, it's like yes, it can get you into trouble with certain people. But
Those people aren't going to be your fans anyway.
We don't
Fuck 'em.
need to. They're not the ones that we wanted to play to anyway. So.
See, I like where
That's
I'm
how
at
it
being like a moderate liberal. Is that I piss everybody off. Nobody like I have no home. It would be easier if I was just like fucking or fucking but I'm not, and I'm not either one of those things. I'm like okay, like. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get into any fucking social issues that are like.
It reminds me of like it's one of my favorite
For the sake
political.
of it,
like there was one of my favorite political memes a while back that I saw. It was like a dog. Like it just kind of dogged on libertarians, and it said like, you know, libertarian shits pants. Conservatives, oh, you shit your pants. Democrats, you just shit your pants, bro. And then he goes, whoa, if both sides are criticizing me, I must be doing something right.
That's like my favorite saying about libertarians is that you could be a Democrat, you could be a Republican, or you can waste your vote.
Yeah, no, that's
Fucking-
that's the other truth about it too.
Yeah. Dude, let's wrap it up. We went for like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I like these conversations. We're doing the Michigan goodbye where I'm like standing in the screen door
Yeah.
being like, well, I gotta run, but hold on real quick, honey. I gotta fucking blah, blah, blah. But I tell you what, I do like having people on that have different perspectives than me so we can talk about what, because I don't want to be insular. I don't want to be in an echo chamber where I'm like, this is my belief and then people are just like, yeah, that's cool. Like I like that I like the discussion about why and how and the nuance behind your beliefs and your beliefs and your beliefs. And then we can agree to disagree. You can change my perspective. I can change your perspective. Or we can just somewhere in the middle where we just have this nuanced conversation where it's like, okay, I understand his perspective now. And that I feel like is where like real growth happens. But the climate online has trained us that is the devil. You don't want to give up on your beliefs. You don't want to give in to someone else's perspective because now they're taking power from you, which I don't. It's the wrong way to think. So I appreciate your guys' nuanced opinions, and
totally.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it as much as it felt like akin to a debate or an argument. I like that we had the discussion. I think it's important to have these kind of discussions, man. So
I think a big important part of the discussion is mutual consent to be honest about your thoughts and feelings in an environment where everyone there feels safe to express how they think and feel, and then you meet out. You work your way toward a mutual understanding. And even if you don't understand, you can accept that someone's thoughts or feelings differ so greatly from yours and still respect them. And
yeah, I mean, we're all just, I mean, without sounding cliche,
nobody
but like
knows
we're just all people, and and most of us are going by instinct with our opinions. So
we're just a sentient cluster of freaking like particles, like individually on this tiny little speck that is careening through freaking very deep empty space at like a massive speed.
Dude, you reminded me of the time that I was on mushrooms and I was reading about physics, and I was like, we're literally made of stardust. It was
we are that stuff.
I love it. But on that note, we're gonna stop doing the fucking Michigan goodbye. Is there any dates you want to plug one last time before we go? I know you kind of got through them, but
just check out the Facebook and find us on TikTok. That's where we post like live clips and stuff. But
hell yeah,
Facebook. That's where like
YouTube
news gets broke. Yep, yeah, YouTube too, and we're on Spotify,
Instagram,
every streaming platform.
Killer. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Anytime. Just let us know when you you got something coming up. You guys just let me know. We'll have you on to promote it, man.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. There's the thumbnail. I appreciate you not drawing me with a double chin, by the way.
Purpose is not survival. It's finding purpose in what you love. I'm pumped to be branching out and being like, hey, we're going to sit down and have a couple-hour podcast. Is it?
Is it, dude?
Jesus Christ.
We just like talked for 5 minutes. I'm like, is it though? I've always been inspired by this shit.
Yeah. Dude, that pizza was so greasy.
It was disgusting.
It was not disgusting.
Disgusting.
Good times, Noodle Salad.